but teaching the respect, the self-respect and the respect for others. And we're teaching bullies how to not be bullies, and we're teaching kids that have been bullied how to not be bullied. And we teach you how to fight without fighting. And what's so interesting is all the parents that are coming out now that want to sign up also for it. I'm just thinking about what you just said. And all of our students that we have, and we have somewhere between 30 and 40 students, are all doing very well in school. And you can almost map the improvement in their school scores with their involvement in not just, I don't want to make it just like it's just martial arts, it's any structured sports setting, because it teaches you, number one, how to follow rules. It teaches you how to work as part of a team. That's right. And it teaches you the importance of success,
And it heightens that confidence.
It does.
And with that,
interrelationship, building relationships. Now you see, I always show my hat and whatnot. I'm a paratrooper, I was a Green Beret, okay, and part of that training, you know, our motto is how far? All the way. And then some, okay, so you're saying that and you're singing that when you're doing a 10, 12-mile run with 90 pounds on your back, and you're running and you're singing. Well, guess what? Do that at 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, it stays with you the rest of your life. So
It does.
I don't know how to do something bad as far as not, if you're gonna do it right. And not only do it right, do it well. Well, this is what the students are learning.
Yes.
They come along. Now you see all of this enthusiasm in her?
Yes, yes.
When you see the kids that are around her, they're jumping up and down, and they have so much, they're all excited because they want to hear and they want to be a part of it. She has established what needs to be the norm.
Yes.
And that's excellent.
Yes.
So if I was in your district, I guess you see I would vote for you.
And I'd appreciate that. I'd appreciate that.
All right. So the rest of you out there, if you're in that district, no matter what district you're in, make sure that you go out and vote for the right person from your view for the school board. That is where it all starts, right there. For all of us, especially us that are getting a little bit older as we go along, these are the people who are going to be taking care of us.
That is true.
Let's make sure they know what they're doing.
Make sure they know what they're doing.
Well, look, we have about 10 minutes to go. As I said, this is my last show in a 6-week series that I think went pretty good, was pretty informative. Anybody out there with any kind of question pertaining to anything dealing with what we've talked about tonight or on previous shows, call up, okay? Better yet, take time out to let the network, Comcast, know how much you appreciate shows like this, because this is what gives the community a voice.
That's right.
That's
all
right.
So you won't see me for a little while, but you will see I will be doing specials. Maybe we'll even do a special on the school board elections.
Fantastic.
Okay, I would like to get you to do some more stuff, because more people need to know about that mortgage situation.
That's right.
Hello, caller.
I have a question for the young lady that helps with the housing.
Miss Smith.
Miss Smith?
Smith, yes.
Hi. When I was growing up, we used to hear, and we heard it from our teachers too, the importance of owning land and owning your own home. Do you think that's still true for today?
That is, it's very true for today. And I think the more, even in the school system, as they talk about financially being stable, educating yourself as a child, that stays with you. And it's important.
And I think, Carla, I think that was more prevalent in the South than it was in the North, because the Southerners had more of a respect for the value of owning land. And I remember Malcolm X talking about it back in the 60s, you know, what was it for land? What was this about? Land. Where's the power? Land. So Carla.
But you still saw West Indians move to New York and buy land.
Different
They bought
culture.
apartments, they bought little
Different
houses.
culture.
Whereas the Americans that had been there, the black ones especially, were accustomed to living in apartments and paying rent.
Well, that's what they call golden handcuffs. Okay? We didn't know. It's just like now when they talk about the new Jim Crow, and that being the prison system and the jail system. That was the same thing back there. But again, through education, now the home ownership among African Americans is probably higher than it's ever been, and it's getting higher. Okay, because we are starting to make more money as a race and as a people, rather than maybe one or two people in your family making some money, everybody making a little change now. You know, so did we answer that for you, caller?
I think so. Thank you.
Okay.
Good luck to you, young ladies.
Thank you.
So
I want to touch on something
Go ahead,
that
right
Ms.
ahead.
Epps had spoke about, and Neighborhood Housing Services' mission is to promote successful home ownership, you know, and we do that, and our whole thing is to change the family, you know, the household, one household at a time. And when we have our programs and we teach, we encourage the parents to bring the children in.
outstanding.
Because when we talk about banking and savings, not only does it affect the parents, it affects the kids. And if they understand that as children, as they grow older, they understand savings. If they go and work in a yard and they earn $1, 50 cents you put in your piggy bank, or you better yet, you take it to the
taking me
bank.
back now some
You know?
years ago.
And so those are the things I encourage, and you know, I just hear your passion about what you're doing, and that is great because again, I have that passion, and you know, trying to help people, and as they say, in low-income housing, public housing, and they feel like the children can't make it, but they can.
They can.
They can.
Yeah.
And again, even the parents, I agree with you, and I can identify, some of them come into our organization. It doesn't matter how you look. As soon as you come in and say you want help, that's our job to help you.
And that, I mean, that's so nice to hear. Okay,
is the key.
because so many people feel like nobody cares.
That's right.
You know, they feel like nobody cares. Well, as I said before, my next session that I come out for, you know.